Check. Sorry, sound checking because the mic doesn't seem to reach me last time. But I think we're loud and clear, right? I'd say that's a yes. Alright, hello, welcome back. This is Donovan Marcella, or Alex Heller on YouTube. Here are again for part 3, as it is 8:25 Eastern Standard Time. Or let's say my clock lives in New York, in the big city. I don't live there, but I'm giving you my clock's location. That's all I'm giving. Although that's bad. At least you guys know what time I'm on. Anywho, what did we do last time? We finally got to learn Accio. We did Levioso as well from part 1, I believe. And then finally we got to Hogsmeade. And we got our supplies that Professor Weasley asked us to get. We collected, and then we suddenly faced off a troll, which we found out it was a distraction for us to be caught, which failed. And made it back home, slept, and received an owl letter from Professor Fig that he wanted to show us something about a locket. I'll have to open up his mail again just to be sure. Without further ado, let's begin. Yes, what I'm doing off screen is activating other students for... Oh look, a snitch! Let's see if I can catch it. Okay, looking... I switched bodies. Well, that's a spoiler. Let go. Why didn't you catch the snitch, Minerva? I can't even say the name. Woo! I wonder why I'm in the library. Wait a second. It shows this, but yet... Is that a warthog? Oh my goodness, I never noticed that. Well, okay, yes, I picked a girl for Ravenclaw, so yeah, this one will be off stream maybe. I'm unsure. I just know that I just want to have the other characters open for the houses, since the only time you can save is after you have been sorted into Hogwarts. But anyway, let's just continue here. Owl post. Let's see. It says, "Come see me. I've discovered something in the log kit. We found a green gods." Alrighty then. Let's go. Let's see what he wants. And let me be sure on the quest side. Is there anything else before those that I've completed so far? Okay, that's the only thing we got to do. The secret. Okay. Alrighty, let's go. Good day, fella Hufflepuff. Okay, I guess not. Okay, missing, so which is closer? I think Charms Classrooms is closer. I don't know. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream for the past 2 streams I've done, and I've uploaded to YouTube. So in case if you missed it, it'll still be there even after 1 week of streaming the game. So for the time being, while it's on Twitch, go ahead and make clips and whatever you want to do. And if on YouTube, go ahead and make comments for maybe tips or some funny moments I randomly did.
Do you think Elizabeth would like a fanged geranium? They're beautiful and terrifying. A bit like her.
I wouldn't bother yourself about that. If I were you, I'd be more inclined to acquire myself some Bubba pus. I'm sure Garlic could point you in the right direction. Soon get that complexion in better fettle.
I think Garlic puts that venomous tentacular near us deliberately. She does. You see next time.
Where did you get your dragonhide gloves? I saw you handling that snargle off in herbology.
Got it.
Kitty!
And then the werewolves joined the goblins in the uprising.
Werewolves, where were you? In the Goblin Rebellion of 1752.
And by the end of it, the Minister for Magic was Albert Boot.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, what fun! I won't say my goodbyes. I shall cheer for the boy who says you're telling
I'm
lies.
not telling lies, Peeves. It was Albert Boot.
No, it wasn't. It was Basil Flack.
Ooh, fight, fight! It's a bold attack. Was the Minister a boot or the Minister a flack?
Stop it, Peeves. You'll get us in trouble.
In trouble you will be, but you can't give Peeves a smack. She says it's a boot, and he says it's a flack.
Peeves, enough. You'll get us all detention. And you're both wrong anyway. It was Hephaestus Gore.
It wasn't Boot and it wasn't Flack, but you're all in trouble with Professor Black.
Okay, I've heard about Peeves in oh, hello. I've heard about Peeves in, I guess, from someone else's YouTube channel that mentioned about him that he's a troublemaker, or hence why he's a bit of a joker, kind of like Ghost. But yeah. Anywho, what's the math this time? Oh, okay. Let's see. The total is 5, so we have 0. Okay, this is 2. That's 0, 2. Okay. We have 12. That's 1, 5, 7. Which is... I can never tell what that is. 1, 3, 5. Are you serious? They're seriously going order evens and odds. I never noticed that. Well, that's interesting. Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, I really don't know the full song. Tan nightcap. Okay. Yeah, make it invisible. I don't like it. I'll need a little more. That up there. Oh, I'm allowed to go through here. Oh, hello.
Reparo.
That wasn't it. I have no idea where I am. Ooh. The astronomy tower. Very nice. This is so cool. And where does this lead to?
No parrots around nagging me to pick up my robes.
I think rules against beasts in the dormitories should be enforced, just because it was a problem.
Revelio.
I was worried transfiguration would
I would imagine like was housekeeping like I wasn't scared. I have allergies. Oh hello, what's this? Wait, can I use it? No. Oh, if only there was a first person option. Look at the view. Well, once we start flying with the broom, we'll have a much better view than trying to see through the back of my head. Wow. Oh, wait, can I? No. Can I now? How about now? What this?
Revelio.
Collecting astronomy telescope in the night sky. Well, I just want to get a good view. I don't know about well, about at night. Wow. Oh, this is where the Half-Blood Prince happens. That was rough, though. Going down. Okay,
Lumos.
no. That's where I was. I was upstairs. Unexpectedly found it, but okay.
I asked him what to configuration.
Neato. Level 7, finally. Oh, that means I can get the clothes that are level 7 from Hogsmeade. But how much coins do I have? Or sickles? Inventory. Maybe gear? Upgrades. 597. Okay. Okay, down we go. I guess I should probably save up on clothes and then sell them. Those that I don't want. Defense against the Dark Arts Tower. Well, then again, I mean, I have played the Arkham series with this position. It's just, it's kind of bugging me now.
Revelio.
Oh, it must be in the other room. Which I have no idea how to get to. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. It's that kind of chest. Shoo shoo, right along. Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh. Hello, Hamora then. Something tells me I found a side quest spot. But nobody's here.
Defending Hogsmeade against trolls. You know, there is such a thing as trying too hard.
I wasn't trying too hard. Am I? Was I trying too hard? Oh.
Get away from me! Come now, Annabelle. It was a long time ago. You've made your point.
Make you deader than dead. Feel bad for the guy. But then again, I mean, like that, for example, can hold a grudge. Okay. I know we're supposed to see Professor Fig right now, but let's just say, oh, here she is.
Kind soul, help me.
I'm not even sure if I even want to. Oh right, I was gonna head to hold on. Okay, here it is. Also, that's where it's at. Okay, never mind then. Okay, I just need to make a trip to Great Hall, and then we'll get to where we need to go. Just a trip. Here I am. It was this way, right? No? It was that way.
My mother was shocked about that.
Up the stairs. Excuse me, sorry. Whoa, too bright. Wow. Holy moly, that was too bright. Well, I mean, that's where the stairs would be. Around the
When
stairs.
what was lost has been found, the brother's betrayal will turn the tides.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them already. Isn't there Did I not? Okay, let me see. It is 6, so we have a 2 and a 4. Wait. 2, 4. That is 6 right there. Oh! Okay. 5, 6. Another 5. Where's the other one? What's that? Oh, okay. I guess it's downstairs. There it is.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Nice to see you too. Alright, here I am. Solar goggles. find the statue. I can't use it because it's level 8. Fantastic. Anyway, I should head down.
Revelio.
Honeyduke's passageway. A certain charm. Okay. Right, I was gonna head to the Great Hall. 'Cause I'm hungry, okay? Leave me alone.
I have never encountered.
The reception hall. If I were to guess, it might be this way. Okay. Found it!
Revelio.
Ceiling. The ceiling of the Great Hall has been bewitched to mimic the sky above the castle. Clear as day. I can't follow the call. Okay, what's the map out now? Okay, 7, 9. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 6, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, it's a 7. Okay, so that's a set. Wait. 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, it's 8. Okay, my bad. 8. And then the other one is a 3. I guess we got the now. Okay, and double is 3. Ow. Painting. Solar goggles, which I already have. What else? Oh, there's another one over here. Silver spectacles, which is lower.
Revelio.
Not good for you. Galvin, the enchanted lectern serves as a spot from which the great headmistress and headmasters of Hogwarts, as well as Professor Black. Anything else? Doesn't seem like it. It's a lock. Oh, there's a higher level within the Great Hall? That's a lock.
Revelio.
Okay. And there was something here. Oh, the gardens. Trap. Okay, here's the blue flame.
Off on another adventure, are we?
I was sure that it was here. Unless it was the opposite door.
Levioso!
Another lock. Ooh, where does this go? Feels dark and ominous. Lock level 2.
Revelio.
There's a chest in there. There's a lock. I hear a rat. Can I go through there? Oh. Oh. Was that thing in the house? Oh, I think I made it to the home base of... Oh, it's that kind of lock. Okay. Okay, I think I accidentally found Slytherin. Great, now where am I? Oh, this is what it looks like at night. Okay. That wasn't the door. It said over here.
Revelio.
What? Specific, as if my schedule wasn't congested enough. The ministry has charged me with arranging the rather inconvenient arrival of a new student to 5th year, if you believe. Professor Weasley insists that they will need an escort and a mentor to help them assimilate. Acclimatize? I don't know that word. Before term begins. I have assigned the task for you. Please see Professor Weasley for details. Phineas Nigellus Black. Okay.
Revelio.
Bronze leaf.
Simply because you had one victory over Sallow. You never back down from that.
Weird. Professor! Okay, we shall wait. Did we seriously sleep in it? I know it took forever, but I seriously have to wait. Okay, that is funny. Oh, look, a chest. The scarf. Okay, level 8, which I am far from. So, not yet. I'll keep this one.
Revelio.
Anything else? You wanted to see me, sir?
Professor, I'm glad to see you.
And I you. Thank Merlin you're in one piece. I heard about the attack. Trolls in Hogsmeade?
Sir, the trolls were wearing armor. It had that dark glow like the dragon collar.
Goblin silver. Ranrock used it to control the dragon. But how? And why send trolls to...
They were there because of me. I overheard Ranrock talking with Victor Rookwood.
Ranrock was in Hogsmeade? With Rookwood?
The trolls were Ranrock's distraction so that Rookwood could get to me. And he would have, had Sirona and the patrons at the Three Broomsticks not intervened.
This is grave news indeed. If Ranrock's goblins and dark wizards are after you, they want what we found in that vault.
Speaking of the vault, do you think that Ranrock is working with any of the goblins at Gringotts?
I do not. Gringotts goblins aren't typically the friendliest of beings, but they have a great deal of integrity. No, I dare say after what happened to that poor banker, the goblins at Gringotts are no followers of Ranrock.
It was rough for that guy.
They're after the locket. You said you discovered something in it.
Yes. I discovered an inscription. When I read it aloud, this map appeared. Clever enchantment. It's a map of Hogwarts, to be sure, but I do not know where it leads.
It leads to the library. A restricted section, to be precise, and a bit beyond. I see traces of magic there on the map.
I suspected you would see something.
Shall we go?
I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'm eager to discover what we may find there as well. But if our experience at Gringotts, let alone what happened to Miriam, taught me anything, It's that the path we're on is terribly dangerous. I'd like you to work with Professor Hecat a bit before we continue.
But sir, how dangerous could the library be? Perhaps we're only after a book.
Perhaps we are only after a book, but we should be prepared for anything. Once you've honed your defensive magic further, come and see me. I'll let Professor Hecat know to expect you.
Okay.
Revelio.
Oh, she's downstairs. Yeah, sorry.
If only a new student were to help me with my sad predicament.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia
Nope.
Noak. The girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
Gobstones? Sounds like a fun challenge.
That's what I tried to tell everyone. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
Rather an overreaction on their part.
I'll say. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented fifth year to help me.
Haven't you any friends at school?
Not really. Natty said hello once, but not a word since.
Do you have any suggestions on how to get your gobstones down from their hiding spots?
If I knew that, I'd get them myself. Whoever hid my gobstones that high got up there somehow.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
Okay, show me the way. Oh wait, they're within the area?
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Accio! Well, that's one of Zenobia's gobstones. I hardly see what all the fuss is about.
And now there's one up there.
Even if I knew how to get to the other common room, I wouldn't bother. There's no reason I wouldn't buy it.
Revelio. I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Revelio.
Okay, see that thing in the mind.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
Interesting. That's 5. Five, 6, 4. Eleven, 6. I full, or is there seriously nothing? Great. Hold on.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Revelio. Revelio. I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Revelio. Revelio.
Another door. Fantastic. Let's see. What's the third number that equals 23? Let's see, that's a 2, that's a 15, 17. That's a 6. So over here is a 6. 0, 2, 4, 6. I saw that. 19. 9. 12. 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Dusty scarf. Oh, I like this color. Okay, that one I'll keep. Okay, statue.
Revelio. Revelio.
Genius, is it really at the top? Oh.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
Have you ever been to the kitchen? I hear it's run by house elves.
Revelio. Accio. Revelio. That's the last of Zenobia's gobstones. I should go and see her.
Down the stairs we go. Here we go. If I would, I would be leaning against the wall.
I hope you've had more luck than I did tracking down my gobstones.
Hello, Zenobia. I found all your gobstones.
Really? I didn't think it was possible. However did you do it?
Common sense and basic magic.
Well, may I have my gobstones back?
Of course. They are yours after all.
Oh, how wonderful. I shall dedicate all of my future victories to you. Speaking of which, now that I have all my gobstones back, I wonder if anyone in the common room would be up for a game.
I'm sure they'd be willing to play after the trouble spent getting them back. It's a fine idea.
Isn't it? Oh, we'll have so much fun together laughing as all the losers get sprayed, which won't include me. Very well, off I go. Wish me luck.
Okay, I need to make Incendio.
Never forget what that Hufflepuff girl said in 1421. What lovely stone. Oh, that's class, that is.
Okay,
If someone gets struck by a cursed broom, we do hope it's you. Not sure he's in at the present moment.
yeah, I think I took too long with that. Okay, because that's the location of the library, and Dark Arts is right there. So, well, I guess I can go to Hogsmeade. Yeah, I already got everything. Oh, that's where it's at. But I really do need to get the Hogsmeade to sell that.
polyjuice potion wants keeping away from today's young, I'd say.
Got it.
Revelio.
Neato. Ooh. Nice. Whistling whispers, they'll make you float. I'm floating!
Revelio.
Imagine if someone were to have too much of that. Rumored to contain billywick stings are small sharp balls that will consume and will levitate a few inches off the ground. What's this one? Just regular cake. What else is in here? That's just regular cake. Elephant on a bicycle. I'm an eagle! Awesome. What's next? So this is the candy that I think it was in the Prisoner of Azkaban, to when they had a little moment in the bedroom, and I think what was it, Seamus or Neville told, no, it was Ron that told Harry not to have one, and he had steam coming out of his ears. Wow, it's this kind of candy. Wow, that's awesome. Another one, please. There's an elephant. Again. I think that was Seamus. Or no. Yeah, Seamus. I think Neville got the elephant and Ron got the lion. Did Dean have anything? I don't think he had any, or unless he did and I didn't notice it. There's Ron. Oh goodness, Riku's gonna love this one. Ooh. Oh. Wow. Nice. What's that over there? Oh, just regular candy. Neato, though. What's this one? Pepper Imps. That's a spicy metaball! What's that? Oops.
Revelio.
Exploding bonbons. A treat that'll explode when eaten, although they're unlikely to cause injury. One is advised to chew carefully. Well, there's no option to eat it, so that's sad. Oh, there's... Wait, is that it? Unless I was in a... Huh. What's this one? Just regular cupcake. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here before I actually get in trouble. With my health. Oh, I should probably check on the challenges. I did a few. I kind of did a few, so... Huh, 7% of quest, 20% of field guides. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Prankster. And I don't even know what this is. Okay. Yeah, I just want to be sure of things. It says I still have something, which is what? Oh.
Well, hello there. Come in, look around, and if you've been eating chocolate frogs, please refrain from touching. If I haven't said it before, it's a pleasure doing business with you.
I didn't notice this.
I suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion.
Oh, now that I leveled up, yes, yes. I don't like it.
Be sure to stop by whenever you're about.
I'll have to do this some
I
other time.
suspect you have a sharp eye for fashion. Be sure to stop by whenever you're about.
Right. Okay, now I have enough room. Better head back to Hogwarts. Okay. Into here. There she is.
Revelio. I believe we have something to discuss.
Yes, yes we do. After I collect this challenge. Oh, and Hogsmeade? I didn't know that. Okay then.
I'm here about the new spell you wanted to teach me, Professor.
Good. Professor Fig indicated a certain urgency to you completing your defensive magic assignments. As such, you are to learn Incendio, the fire-making spell, handy for lighting torches, burning away spider webs, and, when necessary, defending against those who would wish to do us harm.
Sounds versatile.
Quite. But before we get started, I'd like you to complete a few tasks. You may be surprised by some of them. Astonishing how much students don't think their professors know. When you're finished, come and see me. Then we shall begin working on Incendio.
Great.
You know where to find me once you've finished.
Seems crossed wands isn't as secret as it's believed to be.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Even though I'm streaming early, everyone's busy, and I gotta stay as the underdog. Like, let people find me. I find people through categories. People can find me through categories. And since everyone is asleep, I cracked my back. Is that watching it?
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
Yes.
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know. Keep trying.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Nicely done. Excellent form.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's it. I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Brilliant. Are you dueling with a partner?
Yes, Natty.
Then let's get to it. Ready to get thrashed? Apologies in advance.
Oh, so if it's purple, I gotta pull them out, but if it's yellow, then it's Wingardium. Okay.
I could never duel like that.
What happened to my cloak?
Bravo!
I gave it my all.
You did indeed. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Assignment's all finished.
I finished.
I trust Mr. Brattleby was able to...
I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor Hecat.
Glad to hear it. Then you should be ready to learn Incendio.
Should be, Professor.
Yes. I'm sorry to say, I visited enough careless colleagues at St. Mungo's to assure you that fire is a fickle servant. Your spellcasting has impressed me thus far, but please maintain focus. I would rather we not end today's lesson with your robes aflame. Let us begin. And remember, focus on the proper wand movement. Concentrate and keep your wand steady. Good work. Feel free to practice in the classroom before you go. I've set up a few targets for you.
Incendio!
Getting it. Keep at it. And do try not to incinerate yourself.
Oh, here it is. Okay, this is just a Levioso, just to leave him in the air. It's this one, okay. I didn't know that.
Incendio!
Setting things ablaze is certainly cathartic, isn't it? Excellent defensive skills.
Levioso! Accio! Incendio! Levioso! Accio! Incendio! Revelio.
Ah, there you are.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Heckard.
So I hear. She tells me you've taken rather well to your new wand. You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig, I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.
That man is exasperating. Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait a bit longer.
But, Professor...
We have no choice. It would be unwise to provoke our illustrious headmaster further. I shall find you when I've completed whatever toils I must endure.
Great. What's the headmaster's deal anyway?
Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea.
Let's go see. A howler towards a Gryffindor. Oh my goodness. That is an actual reference to the Chamber of Secrets when Ron had his howler.
Sebastian, there you are.
There you are. You promised me an explanation for what happened in the Three Broomsticks. Not many students have Victor Rookwood's attention. What was that all about?
Did I? Did I? Did I? Did I? Did I?
Seems he's working with Ranrock, and Ranrock is after something I found at Gringotts.
Ranrock? And when were you at Gringotts?
Professor Fig and I ended up there after the dragon attack. It's quite the tale. Fig had this port key.
A port key? To Gringotts? I'm not sure I follow.
I barely follow myself, and I was there. Anyway, we ended up in an ancient vault where we found a map. That map leads to the restricted section.
You can't be serious.
Deadly serious. Professor Fig has insisted that I not tell a soul about any of this. I've probably said too much.
Understood. Your secret's safe with me. Whatever it is.
Thank you, Sebastian. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section.
And I am. Meet me outside the library tonight, and tell no one.
How concerned should I be about the librarian?
Madam Scribner doesn't take kindly to clandestine activities taking place amongst her precious books. So do all that you can to avoid her. She and I have had our entanglements, but I can hold my own against her. You may not be so lucky.
What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section?
Detention, no doubt. But a word of caution or two will help. For one, avoid Peeves, the poltergeist. Aside from wanton destruction of property, he loves nothing more than telling on the likes of us.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later.
See there? That's the door we need to reach. And those annoying prefects would love nothing more than to rat on us to Scribner, so don't let them see us. Understood?
I can be sneaky. Let's go.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The Disillusionment Charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak, but those are expensive. And spells are free. Give it a try.
Cool, but just me? There's echo going on. We're supposed to be quiet, and yet there's echo, and they haven't even noticed. That's funny. Okay, so A-X-A-X-A. Okay.
Someone's still here. Quick, behind the bookcase. Damn! You told me the librarian would be gone by now. I said usually, but it'll still be all right. Do you see her desk behind me?
The key is in the drawer of that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to draw her away. You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted section.
Wait, why do we need a key? Isn't there a spell for this?
Alohomora. That's how I always used to get in. But the librarian twigged that I knew the spell and cast an anti-Alohomora charm on the lock. So now it's just this key. But don't worry. I said I'd get you in, and I always keep my word. Trust me.
Is someone there? Is that you, Peeves? Good gracious, what a mess!
The key. Here it is. That wasn't so difficult after all. Now to find that book.
Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say. Ghost, don't let her see you.
This is an automatic fail.
Surely no one's wandering about in here at this hour.
Should be. No need for us to be skulking about. We must.
So what is it you've been looking for?
I'm looking for a cure to help my twin sister, Anne, so that she can return to Hogwarts. Because Merlin knows everyone else has given up.
Why do you think we'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing that can help Anne?
No! We've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's. But I can research on my own. No need to concern yourself with that right now. Let's focus on what you're after.
Revelio.
What, precisely?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're being awfully cryptic.
Revelio.
Secrets of the darkest arts. I'm impressed.
Jobberknoll.
Little friend, out exploring where they shouldn't be. Naughty, naughty, you'll get caught.
Peeves.
Don't you? I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell.
Great.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least get to the librarian with a good excuse for all of this.
Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where's that damned poltergeist got to?
I know just the spell to repair this armor.
Repair it.
Revelio. Of course, traces of ancient magic. There must be more to this room. That's it. Where might this lead?
Into that. My. Wow. So I'm not into that.
Lumos. Incendio.
I need to wake up that rune over there.
The question is how? Don't have anything that's...
Revelio. Accio. Levioso. Incendio.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's close combat. How would I need to wake it up?
Lumos. Incendio. Accio.
I was aiming at it.
Revelio.
Not surprising. Guards at the ready.
Levioso. Accio. Incendio.
Wow, decapitation.
Levioso. Incendio. Revelio. Protego. Levioso. Accio. Levioso. Incendio. Lumos.
certain amount of time to run through that. Okay.
This must be the way forward, but to where?
To where indeed?
Lumos.
Doesn't seem like it.
Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me.
Lumos.
Potato! Stupid one! Stupid one! Levioso!
It is a book after all.
Revelio.
Well, that's interesting. Why'd you have to move her eyes like that?
You wanted to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald? Professor Rackham?
Miss Isadora Morganach, welcome.
Professor Rookwood? Professor Bakar?
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad. Especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a 5th year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganach, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too. But we've never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morganach.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few. As such, we ask that you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
She's too happy about that.
Sebastian.
Sneaking in the restricted section again! I had thought we were through with this mischief. Clearly detentions are insufficient. I'm afraid I must take this to the headmaster.
But that being said, Peeves informs me that you didn't come alone tonight. If someone has coerced you, I would have you tell me. You're a bright boy. Don't waste this.
There was nobody else. I came alone.
Oh, Sebastian. What will your uncle say?
Oh, that was something. Oh, wait. Oh, it's upstairs. I'll have to worry about that some other time. this morning is coming. Just directly downstairs. Oh, okay. Never mind. I think I might have seen them before. But I gotta go see Fig and then call it a day. I mean, this is just to make up for Sunday that I didn't stream. Are we too early? I don't know. Okay. Oh, the quest has started? Really? Oh boy.
You cannot be serious. Goblins working with Rookwood? Makes no sense.
It is rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... Ah, Fig. You have a visitor. I'll see what I can find out.
Sir, I was able to search the restricted section while you were with Professor Black. It was a book we were after.
Yeah, it turns out it was.
That's... Wait. You accessed the restricted section? But how? Thinking on it, perhaps it's best you spare me the details.
Fair enough. In fact, the book was below the restricted section as it appeared on the map.
I want to hear everything. First, let's have a look. Oh dear. Some of these pages seem to be missing. It appears someone has got to the book before us. Still, I will need time to study what remains. Perhaps we can still salvage something useful, though it may take some time. I wonder why it was here, below Hogwarts.
I think I know, sir. I saw 2 more memories where I found the book.
Another pensive. Godric's heart.
The man we saw before, Percival Rackham, was a professor here. The first memory showed him and 3 other professors using ancient magic to restore a hamlet from a drought.
Miriam was right. And the second memory?
They were talking to a student who started as a 5th year, like I did. She could see traces of magic too.
Why those memories? Perhaps this book will explain. Now I'll have to take it with me to London. The headmaster has insisted that I speak directly to the minister about George's death.
What will you tell them about Mr. Osric's death?
I don't know how much I dare say. George tried to convince the ministry about Ranrock, but to no avail. My instinct is to follow the path we are on for the moment and keep the details to ourselves until we know more.
I understand. I'll see what I can learn about the missing pages while you're gone.
Good. Don't neglect your studies. Your wand work is improving by the day. But you'll want to pay attention in herbology and potions. There's more to magic than spellcasting.
Plenty to keep me occupied while you're gone.
You've done exceptionally well. I look forward to seeing all that you've accomplished when I return. Oh, and don't neglect your friends. You may be surprised by how much you can learn from them as well.
Right. Alright, that about does it. So apparently I said it to the hospital wing. Biology class and sites for round 3. Probably practice some other time. Okay, well, that is that. Wait, we have a letter from Lucan and Natasai. Okay, what do we got, Lucan? Okay, it's time to prove you're dueling medal and see if we've got a new champion. Meet me at the usual place for the final round of crosswands. Also, the training dummy is still available. Signed, Lucan. Natty, meet me at the lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rockwood and Hollow, and it might be best to do so outside. But I never told her, and she never saw it. So, is the basic story, like the story by itself, I was supposed to go with Natty instead of Sebastian? Okay, I'll probably see those some other time. Alright.
Meet me in Lower Hogsfield as soon as possible. I would like to talk to you about Rookwood and Harlow, and it might be best to do so outside of the castle.
Professor Fig and Weasley have asked that I teach you an additional defensive spell. Please complete the assignments I have given you, and then proceed to see me in my classroom.
I need to send you an alpha post and... Okay. To explore, you will remove fog to reveal hamlets. Okay, now there's more quests. Okay. Ah, Expelliarmus, nice. That'll be for next time. What else? Okay, I think that's about it. What do I get? Oh, it's just the wand. It says metallic. I still want this one, but I also like it in blue. Alright, well, that's everything to do, so I'll catch y'all next time. Just have a good day, have a good night, good afternoon. So it is, whatever you guys do, and see you next time. Bye.